when Manchester United unexpectedly beat Man City to win the FA Cup final. That meant Chelsea, who are on course to play the Europa League this season, courtesy of our sixth place finish, it condemned us to play the Conference League, and it is a significant cut financially, and the level of competition, barring Betis and Fiorentina, are very average to say the least. But with the glamour and fiscal benefits being stripped away, what Chelsea have is the full luxury of resting our core 11 to 13 players completely during midweek assignments, and those benefits are clear to see. Now, by the looks of it, the likes of Palmer, Caicedo, Colville, and Jackson will not touch grass in the Conference League, and the likes of Giu, Mudryk, and Raksaki, a lot of young players have the opportunity of impressing at a European stage. Instead of travelling to Kazakhstan, what we had is those core players back at Cobham getting ready for the real test this week, and that's Brentford at home. Now, I feel sorry for Pedro Neto making that long trip, but he was the only experienced player in attack, and kudos to him. It was tough conditions and he was excellent in that first half, and he was taken off as a precautionary measure, but him not being available for the weekend courtesy of suspension and Mudryk's illness saw him play some cracking stuff in the cold in Astana. But I was really pleased to see the likes of Achimpong and Raksaki really stand out in their respective roles. It's not easy making that jump from academy to men's football, even though the level of opposition rather might not be so high. But it was Mark Giu with that goal scoring touch, a great solo goal to open the scoring, real pace, power and composure in front of goal, and it follows up with his composed finish against the Armenian side Noah. This competition is just perfect for the raw and unpolished aspects of players, as we've seen with Mudryk in this competition, and within 40 minutes it was 3-0 and it was game over. Giu with a near post dash and a touch of fortune for the brace, and a free header for Renato Vega from a corner. And I thought Chelsea were very professional in their display, a completely straightforward win despite Astana pulling a goal back just before halftime. A nice finish from their skipper Tomasov. Chelsea continued their win streak in the Conference League. Again, the competition of level not being high. Chelsea, an expensively assembled squad, but most of that expense is being left at home, and Chelsea's B and C team having to step in. But it's 5-5. Everything that Maresca is touching is working so far, and Chelsea are continuing to make friends in places like Switzerland, Armenia, and Kazakhstan now. We're here, so we might as well win it with the B team and complete that European set. Of course, it's great to see the likes of Tyreek George, Josh Achimpong, Raksaki, Ampa, Moeka, and we saw Harvey Vale getting minutes in tough conditions for the first team assignments. Saw Achimpong, who's very close to signing a new deal with the club, and it's great news because he looks like a very tidy and versatile player as that right-sided centre half / right back. Really good prospect for Chelsea coming through. While Chelsea are just chilling in the Conference League, City are going through it, man. Not just domestically, but now that Bug has been transformed onto the European form. How they drew that game against Feyenoord, I'll never know. They were 3-0 up at home and cruising, and that ends up 3-3 and then getting beat 2-0 against Juventus. They'll be in the playoffs like Bayern, PSG and Real Madrid. This new format is putting teams through the ringers considering their domestic exploits. And that's what this new format has done. Earlier would see these teams just cruising through to the next stage, but now it's a real dogfight. But it's one win out of 10. It's a crisis for any manager. And it's a crisis from Pep and Manchester City. There's no two ways about it. From the outside looking in, you take out Rodri out of the system and the whole thing falls apart. There's plenty of evidence even before his ACL injury, and now there's just further proof. But that can't be just the case, man. The squad is full of technicians and top quality littered everywhere. Yes, we must acknowledge that their transfer dealings haven't been what they used to be, but they are way better than their form suggests. Other teams are actually looking at Manchester City now to get their licks back. There are old wounds when City used to dispatch everyone for fun, and now other teams are looking at it as one to give back. Look, they're creating enough chances. Of course they do. Every game City have dropped points. You see that Haaland has one or two glaring opportunities to give City the lead. It's not been happening for him in front of goal. Yes, his goal record would suggest otherwise, but in the run of those 10 games, he will have to shoulder a large portion of the blame. Look, we know Haaland in the box. He is lethal. But if you look at his all round game, it leaves a lot to be desired. He had what? Five passes in the whole game against Juve. He is often bypassed in the build up. He is there to finish things off. And now that those finishes have dried up, it gives Pep further headaches as to how he can get his team to score when Haaland can't. He was slipped through one on one, and Di Gregorio makes a great save. He just flicks his hand up. It was a composed finish from Haaland, but it's just been that kind of a run. But someone of Haaland's ability has to do better, and so do the experienced players like Bernardo Silva, Grealish, and Foden. They just have to step up. And to add to that, they are making some horrible mistakes at the back. I'm sure Pep has had it up till here with the likes of Edison and Walker. Even Guardiola, who's been brilliant since his arrival, also getting dragged into this mess. If you look at City's squad, if you take out Guardiola, Doku, Foden, Savio, probably Haaland, they are under 25, and the rest of the team has just grown old together. The midfield is so crucial to Pep's system, and I'll be very surprised to see if City don't pull the trigger in January for the likes of someone like Zubimendi from Sociedad, with Gundogan, Kovacic, and Rico Lewis trying to hold the midfield together, and it's just not working. This rebuild will be very interesting to see with the new sporting director at the helm, considering City and Pep haven't really tapped into the academy with real regularity. Everyone talks about Pep letting Palmer slip through his fingers, but as time goes on, they'll realize the same about Romeo Lavia as well. Look, with the Manchester derby next up, I don't think either team will be fancying this one at all. For Manchester United, though, this is the best time to be playing City, but they are reeling from back to back defeats in their league themselves, and they just about clinched all 3 points against Victoria Pleasant in the Europa League, courtesy of a really nice brace from Rasmus Højlund. But Andre Onana has now gone back-to-back games with absolute howlers. Look, games against City is where you judge your teams in terms of progress and quality. When City beat you, you understand the gulf between your team and City. They are the standard bearers, the benchmark of this league under Pep. But now, under different circumstances and Pep going through something pretty much his worst managerial period, it is the perfect time for Ruben Amorim to get his first statement win.